For much of the NBA's decades-long history, the best teams have fielded at least 3 superstars in order to win the coveted Larry O'Brien Trophy. Powerful trios were seemingly in control more often than not throughout the history of the league. From Bill Russell, Sam Jones, and Tom Heinsohn with the Boston Celtics in the 50s and 60s, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman with the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker in the 2000s, to the most recent Miami Heat's LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, and the Golden State Warriors' Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. The Big Three structure is one from which plenty of championship rosters were built. But before we talk about the most recent Big Three, let's congratulate our last giveaway winner. We do a PS5 and 2K21 giveaway every other month on the channel for those who didn't know. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell post notification. Like the video and comment down below. So the proven recipe for winning championships is well known. All the NBA executives need to do is to pack their roster with as much superstar talent as possible. But that's much easier to say than do, right? Despite the game of basketball being global and high-skilled players are coming to the league from all over the world, there aren't many players with superstar talents. Knowing that the team's salaries are limited with the salary cap is hard to pursue superstars to join forces in one place, which means that they'll need to sacrifice playing time, number of shoots per game, and what often hurts them the most, their salary. So how do you manage to bring multiple superstars onto your team? One person who knows the answer is for sure the Brooklyn Nets general manager Sean Marks. In the 2019 offseason, the team from the New York City's borough managed to acquire 2 of the best players in the game, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. First, the former Cleveland Cavs and Boston Celtics point guard was signed to a 4-year deal worth $141 million. Signing of Kyrie in the salary cap space left was a clear sign that the Nets are a destination where the new super team will be built. Unfortunately for the New York Knicks fans, their neighboring team is a much more desired destination. Right after Kyrie's signing, the next in line was the 2-time NBA champion Kevin Durant. Despite being out for the upcoming season after suffering an Achilles injury during the 2019 NBA Finals, the Nets signed KD to a 4-year, $164 million contract, pairing him with Kyrie and creating a super duo that will be a contender in the years to come. With those 2 on the squad and Kevin Durant finally healthy to make his debut for the team this season, the Nets GM Sean Marks wasn't done yet with the building of his super team. As James Harden's frustration with the Houston Rockets was growing, the NBA leading scorer demanded a trade. Being overweight and out of shape, the Rockets front office was only focused on getting as much as possible in return for their main player that spent 8 seasons with the team from Texas. Harden had pointed out a few destinations where he would like to go, having the Nets on top of his list. Harden's potential trade to Nets was the league's hot topic, trending on social media. The ex-Laker Josh Hart, who was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans in the package that sent Anthony Davis to California, even prior to the trade, handed the trophy to the Nets if they acquire Harden. I was already over 2020, but if James goes to Brooklyn, then I'll see y'all 2022, cause they got 2021, Hart tweeted. And then in mid-January, in a 4-team trade, the Beard was sent to Brooklyn, and the Nets in that very moment became the favorites to win the trophy this year. The foundation of the new Big Three in Brooklyn shook up the league and created a huge buzz, not only in the fandom, but in the league itself. The Eastern Conference, who was less loaded with superstars in the past decade, got their new power team. The Whoa by Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz and the Wow by Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards best describes the players' instant reaction to trade. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, who are not thinking of leaving the Portland Trail Blazers to chase the title somewhere else, and who will probably benefit from Harden's move to the East, had also what to say. Lillard, who has tortured the Rockets in the playoffs before, tweeted, "That's a lot of firepower in Brooklyn." While his teammate CJ wrote, "Right before my nap, huh? Most entertaining sport in the business." Similar reaction to the trade had the ex-Brooklyn Nets DeMar Carroll and Jared Dudley. Carroll tweeted, "Wow, the NBA is the most entertaining league on and off the floor," referring to Harden making the front news even with his actions that don't involve scoring a basket. Jared Dudley, who has won the championship with the Lakers last season, just said, "Sheesh." The reporters who closely follow the league had their own way to express themselves following the trade, being much more creative. Fox Sports personality Adam Amin might have the winning tweet. He put the focus on the Harden's physical change, which was obvious before and after the trade. ESPN's Mina Kimes added some production value to her tweet, hitting with a nice artistic video. The ex-NBA players who are now following the league also had what to say. Paul Pierce, who once was a member of a blockbuster trade that sent him from his Celtics to Brooklyn, tweeted, "Well, that escalated quickly." Alongside the fun part of the reactions, there were those who made serious statements regarding the new Brooklyn Nets Big Three. The former Chicago Bull and now ESPN host Jay Williams made this statement. "This is the most prolific scoring trio the NBA has ever seen. If this trade doesn't get Kyrie Irving's attention to win it all, I don't know what will." Very interesting point by a guy who earned his respect among the NBA analysts and the players. So, with the last move made by Sean Marks, all of a sudden, the reigning champion Lakers were not the top story in the league. That torch was passed to the Brooklyn Nets. Immediate reaction was that the Nets head coach Steve Nash will have a hard time to handle the top three superstars. And despite the fact that he has been one of the best passers that the game has ever seen, you'll need more than one ball to make everyone happy. It's a great problem to have because they're all extremely talented offensive players. I think defensively, they also are all very capable defenders. They're intelligent and experienced players. All we have to go down this path and figure out what the best way is to defend with this group. I do think that there's more potential than maybe people assess from the outside, on paper, Nash said. Asked about the team goals for the season, Nash was straight to the point. "We want to win a championship for sure. That's why we made the deal," Nash said. "That's what we're setting out to do. Having said that, we're so far from that right now. We're going to have to assess and refine and adapt as we go here. This is a new group of guys learning to play together for the first time, really before James's trade. We're still in that boat where we have talent, but we have to form this thing and realize how effective they can be together and how efficient we can get their performance to be while playing together. That will take time." The solution for the Nets is simple though. Any sort of selfishness from any of Durant, Harden, or Irving will not work. "If they really want to win, they'll find a way to play together," said Nash, who failed to win the NBA championship as a player, but now it seems that as a head coach, he has anything he needs to win one. And if he doesn't, the blame will probably be on no one other than him. As the season progressed, the first showdown between the Nets and the Lakers, whose clash in the finals this year is already predicted, was right around the corner. When asked on his opinion on if the Nets' Big Three is maybe the best offensive trio ever, LeBron James was short and clear. "Have we forgotten about KD, Steph, and Klay already?" asked the King, referring to the Golden State squad that won 2 championships together, beating him and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, which meant that he is not much impressed with the Nets squad. And maybe he's right. Brooklyn's Big Three era has had a bumpy beginning. On the one hand, the Nets beat the Bucks and the Heat twice, and they have the best offense in the league since trading for James Harden. On the other hand, they lost to the Wizards and Cavaliers twice, and they have the 28th ranked defense in the league since the trade. Each member of the Big Three has missed time since the trade, so James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving have barely played together. Based on the experiences with the last Super Threes in the league, those in Boston, Cleveland, and Golden State, it's a fact that this group do not last long, maybe 2 or 3 years. So that means the time for winning is no later than now. With the 3 players being in their prime and the playoff experience that they have, there are no excuses for not winning it all, even this season. They also have a great supporting cast with DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie, and reports say that Andre Drummond is packing his bags to join them. The Brooklyn Nets fans, and especially their front office, still remember the last time they put all in on winning the championship. Back in 2013, the Nets traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce from the Boston Celtics, adding them to a team that already had the all-star guards Deron Williams and Joe Johnson, and the young big man Brook Lopez. Jason Terry has also landed, and his Dallas Mavericks teammate from the 2011 championship team, Jason Kidd, was the new head coach. With that trade, the Nets win over the salary cap and paid the luxury tax, and also sacrificed their future draft picks. Unfortunately for them, they didn't make it even to the Eastern Conference Finals, and after that, all of the star players were going towards retirement. The Nets front office again are putting all in on this team with a new rookie coach and sacrificing draft picks. Hopefully for them, they've learned the lessons from before and they'll be able to find suitable roles for their star players who will deliver the trophy at the end of the season. Anything other than that will be a failure. Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel if you want a chance to win those prizes we talked about earlier in the video.